seasons of MnRTV Live TV show, and tonight we're going to be talking about the banking. Yes, the banking conspiracy, electronic banking conspiracy. I mean, what is this? What do they plan on doing? And it's a conspiracy that, you know, that not too many people know too much about, but we over here at MnR like to find all kinds of information about this. But before I begin, let me introduce to you the one and the only, from Montreal, the madman himself, the coffee man, the one and only Mario. How are you, madman?
We start the show with a good laugh. That's what makes the show a good laugh. We're here for a good laugh.
Yeah, well, we must.
We're not just here for a good laugh, I should say. We're here to hear the stuff that people don't want us to hear. That's what brings you here, right?
That's right, yes.
Oh.
Exactly, so enjoy your coffee. So tonight, what are you thinking about the banking industry?
What?
The banking industry, the banking conspiracy that they want to destroy all the money, and then they're going to bring in their own currency. They're going to bankrupt everything.
Let me tell you, Rob, we're going to get into that in half an hour-ish.
I know, when we talk about the secret group that wants to simultaneously erase everybody's banking, the information, and create chaos and panic, but that's later on.
Yes, because we have a lot of news.
Yeah. One major group, though.
Rob, I found a lot of news. We don't have time for that. We'll talk about it later on. Shall we get into the goods?
This show has been brought to you, by the way, by the Montreal Anti-Illuminati Task Force in collaboration with 12160.info.
You see, Rob, you get carried away and you forget to deliver that little speech.
You know how excited I am to be doing this show, this worldwide transmission show every week. I go nuts. Like, I'm so excited to do it.
Me too, but you know what? Like, there was someone that left a comment last week saying that we ramble on too much. I'm sorry, man. This is a talk show. We're here to talk. We're here to make speeches, right?
Dissect all the information, exactly. So, you know,
and if you don't like it, too bad, because we're going to keep talking, because that's what we're here for.
That's what the wild child and the madman are here for, to give out the information about the New World Order, etc., etc., etc. But let's get on with the show.
Yes, so this is me, this is Mario, this is the voice of the person you just hear, you don't see, because you see me projecting stuff for you to understand. This is for the new people. There's millions of new people tuning in every time. Right, Rob?
Well, yeah, this is a worldwide transmission, folks. I mean, this is seen worldwide, and then it's recorded, so, you know. So there's no reason to miss the show, folks. We're very proud that everybody's here, and let's get on with it. So,
yes. So this is it. This is 12160.info. You see this everywhere. It's on Google Plus. It's on. I post it everywhere. Robert posted everywhere. You can bookmark it. You can, you know, it's a nice website. So, but by now you should all know what it's about. But here I'm still showing it to you, so I don't have to, you know, tell you what's happening. But anyhow, this is where the video is. So you just click play, and if you don't see it, you just have to refresh. And here's a Chatango right here. You see, that's Chatango. You can participate, say hi. Oh, look at that.
It's beautiful because everybody can communicate in there and everything, so it's wonderful. I mean, I love it. I love the Chatango chat room.
Yes. So the next one, without going anywhere else, we'll go to the MnR Productions Mariolaur.blogspot.ca. This is found in the description underneath the video.
Beautiful.
Just put all the other links. They're all going to appear there. And so you got the older shows all here. You see they're all lined there, you know, starting from 2006. You got our video right there. You just got to click play. And if you don't see it, refresh, people. Refresh. That's the most important thing to do. If you want to take
reload, depending what browser you're using. Reload also works.
Yeah, that's true. You know, and we keep getting people writing on the conspiracy talk, which is coming up pretty soon. But before we go there, the hot pictures on the conspiracy talk for the last few days, shall we post, Rob?
Yes, the U.S. has begun airstrikes in Syria.
Yes.
Isaiah 17 says, "When Damascus is destroyed, the Lord's return is near." And then you have Kermit the Frog saying, "But that's none of my business."
How can he say it's none of his business? If the end of the world comes, it will be his business.
Maybe he's gonna save us. I doubt he's probably gonna be hiding behind Miss Piggy.
Who knows? He always does that. Miss Piggy's a tough one.
Nah, I wouldn't want to date her, that's for sure.
Now the next one. This we're going to be talking about soon. I found it in an article. We will be getting into bigger details with it. But this has been going crazy now. We got like 8 likes. You know?
Exactly.
So
could this be the year at last? At last.
Yeah,
we'll get into it later on. Get to the next part of the news, please.
This one's been going. This one's been going viral also.
Sandy Hook, the deadliest school shooting in U.S. history. I think not. In 1890, the U.S. government shot and killed over 290 unarmed Indians at school, including over 200 women and children. How quickly we forget history. Well, that was a long time ago.
But don't remember that. Just remember, they gave up their guns. Remember that. So don't give up your guns, America.
Exactly. That was a long time ago, and they tried to erase history.
Because you need your defense. And this one been going crazy also. We've been getting a lot of people talking a lot of conspiracy talk on both of them.
Right here, ISIS was founded in 2004 as a chapter of Al-Qaeda in Iraq, which didn't even exist until I invaded Iraq based on lies. And still people blame the black guy. And look at them laughing. The father and son. And who's the other woman? Is that?
I don't
know. His wife.
Maybe it could.
I think Bush's wife. I forget her name now.
So that's it. Those are the very popular pictures that I scoured around the net and I put them on this right here. We'll jump right into it. The conspiracy talk, and we also have the conspiracy talk on Google Plus, which is Kicking Donkey, because this is a child show. It's Kicking Donkey, right?
Yeah, this is a child show for sure. And look at this show right here. I mean, this group right here, the Conspiracy Talk. That this is for sure that one of the fastest rising websites. I mean, web groups on Facebook right now. I mean, 263 new viewers, new members, and how many? And look, somebody just posted. As we see this, somebody posted that.
I had to get rid of it.
It goes to show like how many people. This group is very, very, very active. Very. And again, you see what I mean? It's really kicking donkeys.
But you know what I tell people, if you don't want to get bothered, because a lot of people are like, but you know what? I get bothered all the time. You see here, and you go to where is it? Manage group. Where's the notification? No, right here. You see,
right there.
Turn it off. Like that, you don't get people always. I mean, it's active. You're going to be getting people's emails coming in and out. You'll be getting lots of emails. You want to avoid that, so do that. That's the tip of the day with the conspiracy talk on Facebook. So here you got today's show, like usual. It's always there. And then you got things that people post. I'm going to have to turn this off after. I'm going to have to close Facebook because I also get interrupted.
It's now getting a lot, but it's good. It's okay. We love this, though. And look all the information over here that's going on. People are commenting and sharing information.
I have to read all this after the show. I can't read it now.
No, there's a lot of information.
So now, I mean, I won't be going down. I mean, if people want, you could all join. But keep in mind, no, it's a big no-no. Big no-no. Gets me so upset I feel like throwing my laptop on the floor.
You almost did yesterday.
No spammers. Please.
Because you will be found out. You will be taken out because it's happened yesterday or the other day, and we have no patience for sunglasses and whatever you want to sell. I mean, go
Rob,
to other groups for that, please.
now, Rob, you told me you know what? I didn't have time to answer this. You know, this posting, and then we'll go with the news because you know I don't want to bore people out. But this news right here, amen, right? You posted this. Well, you know what it means. It means so be it, right?
Okay. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like I've heard of this before about the amen vow. I've read it before, but I didn't pay that much attention to it until now. And I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, hopefully it's not true.
Hold on. You know what? I don't even need to talk about this because I don't have to talk about it. When we go to the free dictionary, it's very clear. Look, you see what it says here?
Amen. Amon's a demon goddess, the Egyptian god of life and reproduction, represented as a man with a ram's head. That's A/M, amen. Used at the end of a prayer or statement to express assent or approval.
There you go.
Yeah, that's okay, but I hope it doesn't tie into the first one.
Hold on, no, Rob, because
okay, I know it doesn't, but I like to see all angles of the information, you know.
You see right there, that's why we say amen.
Yeah, so be it. A term used at the end of a prayer or religious statement. Yeah, like I said, I'm years old. So
well, everybody has.
Yeah, well, so the other thing, that information, I think they just want to scare people and not praying anymore.
Well, Rob, you know what it is too. This is like the swastika, right? Before, in other times, the swastika represented something good, right? Only in 1930s, that's when it represented something bizad.
Right, exactly.
So we can't take it too literally.
No.
I don't know why you'd ponder on that, but I wouldn't worry too much about that, you know?
Exactly.
Now,
so, getting back
next
to the information, let's start the news.
Yes, the first article.
Ebola virus cases may hit 1.4 million by winter, U.S. warns. I saw this morning.
Yeah, we won't go into the details, but because the title, this is
talking about the epidemic in West Africa.
But this is mainstream news. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say, you know? And they're trying to worry us, right?
Well, they were doing that like about a month ago. That people everywhere in these certain cities had it and they didn't. As if they're testing our minds, testing our wills, just to see what we're going to do, what we're going to say.
They're just trying to put fear in us. I wouldn't worry too much. Now, you know what? We're going to be sticking to Ebola.
Right.
For the next, I have like another 2 articles that I found going around on the internet that I think might be, you know, like worth posting because that's what we want. We want the facts, we want the truth.
Ebola. AIDS,
okay, here it is.
Sorry about that. AIDS manufactured by Western Pharmaceutical U.S. DOD. Department of Defense.
So basically, in case you came out from another planet, yes, Ebola and AIDS, not age, but AIDS was manufactured by the Western pharmaceutical. Okay, Robert, take it away if you want.
All right, and here we have a diagram of a membrane right here, and here they're talking about scientists alleged deadly disease such as Ebola and AIDS are bioweapons being tested on Africans. Other reports have linked the Ebola virus outbreak in an attempt to reduce Africa's populations. Liberia happens to be the continent's fastest growing population. Yeah, it's a bioweapon because I've researched some stuff this week and it said that the elites want rather do this type of depopulation than an all-out war because it might affect them. But they have to have the cure first and protect themselves before they do any of these deadly mutated diseases.
Now look at the first one. See what it says?
Ebola is a genetically modified organism. GMO. Yeah, right then. It's in the 70s, and it between countries like this, the KGB and the CIA, and they had they even had the Ebola building. I wouldn't want to go there. Number 2 says Ebola is a terrible history, and testing has been secretly taking place in Africa. Yeah, I know. It's like Ebola's a testing ground for what they want to do.
And they chose Africa.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Africa has a lot of minerals. They want that.
Yeah, we had said that I think on a previous show. We had done, folks, for you folks that don't know, we had done about a month ago a show on Ebola. So if you guys want to go, just go to our channel to see that.
Yeah.
And look at E. Tamira, a Canadian pharmaceutical company. So that means the Canadians are involved in it also. Canada.
We're testing. No? So
Yeah, of course.
It says.
Yeah. And the UK's GlaxoSmithKline.
Number 4.
Number 4. Do I see number 4 here? Yeah. Right here. The need for legal action to obtain redress for damages incurring due to the perpetration of injustice in the death, injury, and trauma imposed on Liberians and other Africans by the Ebola and other disease agents. I'm not going to read this out, but it says the U.S., Canada, France, and the UK are all implicated in these detestable and devilish deeds. That's for sure. This is a devilish plan, folks.
So
Number 5.
In other words, it's coming here.
Don't say that.
Canada.
Yeah, African leaders and African countries need to take the lead in defending babies, children, African women, African men, and the elderly. These citizens do not deserve to be used as guinea pigs. That's true. That's what they're doing, just like what I said before, you know. It's a bioterrorism weapon. Very frightful. But it kills fast. That's what they want. Because I'm thinking here, AIDS, when they created AIDS, because people did die from it, but it takes like a long time. So maybe now this goes faster, so they get rid of people more faster, and it's more scary.
It could be. Anything is possible.
It's a good possibility that that's what's happening.
Yeah. And soon we'll be going to another, hold on, soon we'll just be going to another, so here it is. This
Ebola health team of 8 found dead in Guinea. 700 new cases reported in 1 week. Outbreak accelerating. It sure is accelerating, folks. Look at this suit over here. Look how they have to get, I admire these people just doing this and not knowing, because even with all those suits, I wouldn't feel healthy. I mean, I wouldn't feel safe doing this. Would you?
No, and then you wouldn't feel healthy taking it out, like saying to yourself, what happened, you know?
Yeah.
But look at this.
Yeah, it just says officials in Guinea search for a team of health workers and journalists who went missing while trying to raise awareness. More than 2,600 people have now died from the Ebola outbreak in West Africa. It is the world's worst outbreak of the deadly disease, with officials warning that more than 20,000 people could ultimately be infected. All of a sudden, it escalates to this.
Yeah, so fast.
I remember 2 years ago when we started doing the show, I had read some information that said soon there'll be an outbreak of some kind of disease that will be worse than H1N1. So I guess this is it. I had read that in 2012 when we first started doing the show. When we first started doing it. Yeah, and it says over here, look at this, survivor's blood sold on the black market. Now, why would you want to buy their blood for? To make a weapon of some kind?
No, it's because blood is important. But you know, Rob, it's not that. Survivor's blood, that means their blood is still good. That means something doesn't add up there.
No, yeah, you're right. I'm off a bit tonight because it's survivor's blood.
Why would you?
But is it really safe the doctor that was taken away from Africa and came to Atlanta, I think. They said he doesn't have it anymore. Does he really not have it? You know?
One will never know. The truth comes
But
out.
I hope he's safe, though. I really do. I don't want to have it anymore. I want people to have the cure for this. But the truth, go ahead.
Well, I did finish what I had to say.
Right. Yeah, I know, eh?
No, everything's a lie. They're just lying to us. That's all. But,
all right.
Yes,
that's true. That's true. And now we're going to go the next piece of information. 2014 added to the Georgia Guidestones. Is this the year its predictions come true?
So this is what we posted up before. It's all over.
Yeah. But we did a show on the Georgia Guidestones. We did a show about that a couple of months ago.
Yeah, but now there's something that they added 2014.
Exactly, they added. But my point is that we didn't have that before. Like we would have talked about it if we had seen it. So they added something. But what could it possibly mean?
I don't know. Shall we dig deep? Because that's what we're here for. We're here to dig deep.
Yeah, that's what I do best. That's what we do best. Right here, and there's all the Georgia Guidestone rules, quote unquote. And if you notice that the upper right hand of this picture, which is maintain humanity under 500 million. That's what their ultimate goal is.
Yeah, they want to do that, and that's what they were going to do in 2014 with Ebola.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be that or something, or a bit of everything, you know. That's what I'm thinking. And wait a minute. About 5 years ago, the notch, now a new stone has been added in a notch with the numbers 2014 engraved in it. About 5 years ago, the notch was chiseled out.
So they removed it around 5 years ago.
And what, now it's back?
It looks like they added it back. And now the block has been inserted.
So yeah, exactly. We can see the 2014. So what exactly does the New World Order want to do? The Illuminati, the scumbags. What is it they want to do? What are they planning?
It sucks because there's no 20th month. There is 20 days in a month. You know, there's 30 days. There's 14 days. So we can't really say it's 12 months.
There's no 14 months.
Yeah, so it has to be 2014. There's something
unless 2, yeah, and it can't be 2 + 1 + 4, you know?
No.
The Georgia Guidestones right there. And there's a great...
I'm posting this at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. All this information is going to be posted once the clip is up later on. It's going to be posted under the description of every point. So you can just go to the part you want to.
Yeah, right here, the next one, because you know, I mean, this is another reason why they want to kill us off.
The U.S. national debt has grown by more than $1 trillion in the last 12 months. 12 months, $1 trillion more. You know how much money that is?
Yeah.
Incredible. Debt. The idea that Obama administration has a budget deficit under control is a complete and total lie. According to the U.S. Treasury, the federal government has officially run a deficit of $589 billion for the first 11 months of fiscal since 2014. That's a hell of a lot of money here, and it's just unbelievable.
The states are
under control. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The debt of trillions and trillions of dollars is just like it'll never be paid back. It can't.
They just created a mess that they can't get out of, unfortunately.
All done by all induced by the bankers themselves.
But that's good I mean, it's not good, but the next article, it's about war. And war, that's what he created this, how many wars? You know, look at
The
this.
U.S. is now involved in 134 wars, or none, depending on your definition of war. Great article right here.
Yeah, so
And
they created big hole with the deficit or the debt, I should say the debt. This is how they think they're going to get out of it through war, but it doesn't work like that.
no, the White House has spent much of last year trying to figure out if the word war was the right to describe its military actions against the Islamic State. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry was at first reluctant. We're engaging in a major counterterrorism operation, he told CBS News on September 11th. I think war is the wrong terminology and analogy, but the fact that we are engaged is a very significant global effort to curb terrorist activity. Yeah, right. The United States is at war with ISIL, and the same way we are at war with Al-Qaeda and its affiliates. I don't know about you, but this is all propaganda.
It is. It is.
I mean, there is war here, but the thing is, it's just unreal that it's all pre-planned. And look at these soldiers going to war, fighting for what cause?
No cause at all, because there's no reason for them to fight.
And look, it says Congress hasn't declared war since 1942. But this makes no sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
If this is not wars, then what is, you know? By the definition, the United States is involved in 5 places right now: Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Somalia, and Yemen.
And
Total wars.
Two of these countries, I don't know about Pakistan, we talked about it last week. 2 of these countries, well, the reserve, right, the Federal Reserve, doesn't have control of. They're not there.
Exactly. Go with it. 134 wars. Whoa, surprisingly, eh? Yeah, very surprisingly.
But
oh yeah.
I mean, it's freaky, you know, that there has to be that kind of war. We don't need war. It's the worst thing.
That's what they want to do. That's all that they want to do. They don't want to. They continue wars, uselessness that we don't need.
Okay, so on to the next top subject, which is technology.
We're in the technology section of this week's show. We've got wearable technology has brought us to the point of no return.
And it has.
Oh yeah, I'm finding it enough with these cell phones. It's just getting worse and worse.
And they just keep putting out cell phones.
Yeah, look at it. In Daniel 12:4, it says, But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the books, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. The world as we know it has irrevocably changed in many ways. Nearly 6 years of the Obama reign of lawlessness has wreaked an unfixable havoc on our nation. And now, after 24 years of the world's love affair with the personal computer and the internet, we are about to change again. And it will not be for the better. Doesn't sound like it's going to be good, folks.
No. They want to phase us out. They want to make us like machines, like robots. They
Look at that. Never offline. The Time magazine. There's so much more that you can possibly imagine. Click to see some of it, which we can't. But not on the show right now. The merge is to always a threefold deal. Step was getting us in front of our devices and getting us to fall in love with them. Have them become as indispensable part of our personal and business lives and routines. The objective has fully been realized and accomplished. Step 2 is happening right now. Technology is shifting from being in front of us to being on us. They call it wearable technology, wearable. Write it down because you are about to be bombarded by it from every aspect of your life. Just as you rarely ever see someone without their smart device, soon you will be able to just about everyone wearing their smart device as a watch, nail, shirt, or beamed up on our skin in the above illustrations. The list goes on and on. Step 3 will be the installation of our smart technology inside our bodies. Doesn't that sound like Mark of the Beast type thing?
It sure does.
Read this on Time magazine and then tell us if this is a conspiracy theory or not. But we already know the answer. The wristwatch made the idea of knowing what time it was seem bizarre in 5 years. It might seem bizarre not to know how many calories you've eaten today or what your resting heart rate is. It's just I find it's out of control. I find it out of control now.
Yeah, I mean
And right there, it says our phone one day is going to tell us what to eat and what not to eat. Can you imagine we order pizza and it tells us not to eat it?
Yeah, it's going to tell us which pizza is right for us, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And then it goes on to talk about the Apple Watch. But Samsung has a watch also from last year, so now they're going to start with the watches, and then it's going to be prepared to be chipped.
That's how the article ends, you see? So at the end, they'll go to chip us.
So here at MnRTV Live Show, you always learn and learn.
Knew something new. That's why you came here, so that you hear something new, because we're not going to talk mainstream. Mainstream is not going to be talked about. We want to get to the truth. We want to get to, what people don't hear. And the next one, it's from worldstruth.c.tv.
Right here, yeah.
Good article, Rob. This might blow you off your mind.
Coca-Cola paid $1 million to make sure you don't know this. Now, what could it be, folks? What could it be? All you Coke drinkers out there don't know what this is, so let's get on with it. And let's see if my mind will be blown away.
I hope so. I hope they'll blow everybody's minds away.
Coca-Cola has been having a rough time. The company owns Honest Tea, Odwalla, Powerade, Vitamin Water, Simple Orange, and other products marketed to health-conscious consumers. What? But it is best known for making Coke a product that is utterly devoid of nutritional value and is often blamed for contributing to obesity epidemic, an epidemic that is costing hundreds of billions of dollars and causing hundreds of thousands of deaths each year. Wow. With demand for the company's carbonated and artificially flavored sugar water declining, hope for Coca-Cola's profitability has been increasing, resting on the brands it markets as healthier alternatives. Bloomberg.com reports that sales of Coca-Cola owns brands like Honest Tea, Powerade, and Simple Orange, and the company's new profit center. But there's a problem.
Now, Rob, why doesn't the government go after these companies? That's my question to any.
Can you imagine them? Because the companies has a cut in this. Because the company, the government, they want to depopulate and hook up people, get them sick. In October, Campaign Finance report revealed that Coca-Cola has secretly contributed more than $1 million to the fight against GMO labeling in Washington. It took the state's attorney general suing the Grocers Manufacturers Association, GMA, for what turned out to be an $11 million violation of the state's campaign finance laws to reveal the secret contributions. But now the truth has been exposed. Some healthy food activists are fighting back.
See, I haven't touched this stuff in so long. I don't want to touch this stuff. Any colas, any soft drinks.
No, you don't. Not at all.
I don't know if there's anything else that's good here, but...
well, no, it just goes on to talk about GMOs and petitions. If you want to sign a petition about this, Unreal.
And they own a lot, Coca-Cola, stuff that you don't notice. But
yeah, I mean, with Coca-Cola, you could wash your pennies and when you have pennies, and it would shine it, and it would do. And I heard people, they used to put Coca-Cola in their cars for some reason. I forget what it was. To clean the motor or something. So then you put on your stomach. I mean, would you put cleaning motor cleaning fluid in your body? No, but you would put Coke. So, you know,
it's like a detergent, you know. Now, the next article is on Mars.
Mars mission opens India for space business.
This
So
blew my
now,
mind, Rob. India is up there and Canada has nothing. How come we don't have space business?
well, doesn't India have the nuclear? We don't
India
have
has a
nuclear.
lot of stuff.
India celebrated putting a spacecraft into orbit around Mars on Wednesday, hoping the rare feat will show the world is open for business in space exploration and inspire a new generation of homegrown scientists to help drive growth. Those motivations will help explain why India, a poor country of 1.2 billion, even invest in a space program, which so many of its people lack access to proper toilets, electricity, and healthcare.
That's true.
It's true. So now they want to go into the space race, whatever you want to call it, space business, but when their own people are suffering.
But that's how it is, because the richer keep getting richer and the poor.
Yeah, and they put their money in the wrong places.
And don't forget, India has no middle class, say there.
No, it's the rich or the poor, and most of them are poor, I would imagine.
But the rich will be going, the rich are putting out stuff for space, and they will be going on space trips, you know?
Yeah.
That's just evil, you know, that is just wrong. They don't have money for the poor, kind of like what they did in Brazil, you know, they don't have money for the poor. So screw the poor, that's what they're saying. That's bad. Now the next article, it's to do with aliens and UFOs. What would our show be without talking about UFOs?
Exactly. Aliens visiting Portsmouth. UFO spotted and Met Office say it's definitely not a cloud. Is this proof that aliens have visited England? And this is all of my English friends from England. This is for you guys, our friends and viewers.
The Brits.
We have viewers in England, Mario. Did you know?
Pardon?
We have viewers in England.
Yeah, we have viewers all around the world.
Yeah. No, we have a whole bunch of new ones. So, a UFO was pictured hovering above the sky of Portsmouth on Friday, prompting a flurry of speculation on Twitter about its identity. Met Office experts categorically ruled out the dark saucer-shaped object was a cloud, and since the social media has been awash with speculations, especially after locals said it had seen it moving very fast. Lewis Rogers, 26, saw it when he was visiting a friend in the city and quickly took a picture. The animations director said my initial thought was it was an aeroplane, but it was just moving too quickly. I was the only one who saw it. Was very quick enough to take the picture. I definitely believe in UFOs. Oh yeah, so that looks like it was a UFO.
Yeah, it was.
Descriptions of it. I mean, moving very fast. The cloud does not move fast like that.
They're up to something. That's all I
whatever it is, whether it's a man-made craft or interdimensional spacecraft by beings, whatever it is, they don't really want us to know. At least not yet. Disclosure has not been done.
No, not yet, but they're getting there. It's on its way. You know Rob, I mean, we're not that far off.
No, we're not.
And the next article, it's on Bigfoot. Getting into
Bigfoot. Oh my gosh, researcher says he's found proof of Bigfoot in Russia. People in the US have long been on the hunt for Bigfoot, just like in Canada, are in search of Sasquatch. In the Himalayas lay claim to the Yeti. But did you know the Russians have their own version of an extra large and hairy primate, the Almas? And now a researcher in Russia says he's found evidence in the form of a piece of bark that Almas not only exists but is wandering the forest on the outskirts of Moscow. The Almas is cosmopolitan. Andrei Stroganov tells the Moscow Times, "I am not worried. They are benevolent and need our protection."
But how would he know that?
Exactly. You know what? We have to get the Montreal Anti-Illuminati Task Force to find this guy and we get him on our show. he could come on our show and talk about this. Hopefully he speaks English.
He better speak British.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the whole thing, eh?
Oh yeah, oh for sure, yeah.
Yes, Trish is bothering me. Trish wants.
So get Trish on the show.
No, hold on, Rob. But before,
oh my God.
You do that. Hold on, Rob. Hold your horses, because we got a little surprise before Trish.
Yes. Right here. Allow me, or
Go ahead.
Fake or freak, woman 21 claims to have paid $20,000 to surgically add a third breast in desperate bid to become a reality TV show. Jasmine Trideville, 21, paid $20,000 to add a breast to become a TV star. She was rejected by 50 doctors who feared violating ethical codes. It took her 2 years to find a willing surgeon who would also add a nipple. She now has a film crew tracking her struggles as a three-breasted woman. And she did this apparently because she didn't want to, she doesn't want to date anymore. And she doesn't want to look attractive to men, but she wants to look attractive to herself. So she did this.
But Rob, her
but it's fake.
Look at her last name. Trideville.
Trideville, yeah. A devil.
There's like a third devil. It's like...
Well, three devils, like the unholy trinity. Well, yeah, exactly. Look at this. And I've seen the video. Did you see the video of her talking?
No.
You don't want to. It's nothing. No personality, and the reason she's doing this. And I don't know. There was some news on the radio. I heard that apparently it's not even true. It's all fake. Even people were saying that. I don't know. I didn't go into details, but who would want to do this? For her sake, I hope it's something fake because it's mute. It looks like a mutant.
Rob, she doesn't even look human.
For all we know. Exactly. Well, we know she's could be a shapeshifter.
Or a reptilian. Look.
Yeah. To me, it's not appealing. What about to you, Mario? Would you date her?
No, definitely not.
Look at that. Look at that.
But this one?
No, the one above.
I don't know who that is. That's 1990s film.
Oh, that's Total Recall, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's not appealing, folks. I mean, people that do this for money or whatever the reason is, she's using a dumb excuse. She doesn't want to date men anymore. So if you don't want to date men, you just don't. I don't know. I don't know what this world's coming to. But
no, Rob, it's falling apart, this planet.
But yeah, so get Chris on. And folks, will be right back after this short break. So don't go anywhere because the main topic, the main event is coming up very, very soon.
Yes, it is. I'm just going to call up Trish. Hold on, Rob. Let me just call up Trish. And she's on her way. She's just fixing her makeup, her hair as usual, you know. She does that. Okay, here she is. Take it away, Trish.
We'll be right back soon.
Electronic banking conspiracy. The theory of electronic conspiracy is said to be a variant of modern New World Order conspiracy theories. The theory consists of the belief that a secret group has attempted for centuries to reach world domination, even if the result by design would be world destruction. According to this theory, the worldwide dominion has been planned from antiquity and follows the following phases. 102. The substitution of precious metal-based coin currency by paper currency. This process began in the Renaissance, with the beginning of the use of tickets which allowed for people to have a tangible good, such as silver or gold pieces, by paper more virtual, but comfortable, medium which the state was committed to provide the equivalent amount of precious metal if such was required. The appearance of virtual money, with credit cards, money approaches wholly virtual status. Money is no longer a tangible paper or metal-based object but rather a series of numbers recorded in magnetic stripes. The proliferation of internet and electronic commerce. Credit cards are no longer required in order to purchase or sell goods and services from an internet-connected computer. The concentration of the worldwide bank into few hands. by means of continuous international banking fusions, the worldwide implementation of an electronic identity card. The Great Worldwide Blackout, a tremendous disaster will take place when, after a great electrical blackout on a planetary scale, the data of all electronic accounts erased simultaneously. After this event, chaos and poverty will immediately ensue throughout the planet, and civilization will revert to its primitive forms of slavery to survive. This is the last aim of the secret organization which has spent centuries guiding this process. The worldwide blackout will be preceded by partial blackouts that would only be tests and signals to communicate that differing phases of the process are being fulfilled. An example of these partial blackouts would be those that have been produced almost simultaneously in different parts around the world. And, at the beginning of the 21st century, shortly after the September 11, 2001 attacks, the blackouts in the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom.
Thank you very much, Trish. You know, your voice is always amazing on our show. It's always nice to hear a female's voice every once in a while on our show.
Exactly, for sure. All right, so let's get on to the main event here, folks. Then tonight's show is going to be, it's about, as you all know, for new viewers that sometimes join us, it's about the electronic banking conspiracy. That's what we're talking about tonight. And some people think that virtual money, credit and debit, was created by a secret group that planned to dominate the world. The plan, according to theorists, is to completely eliminate paper and coin currency so that citizens rely solely on electronic banking. Once that goal is achieved, the secret group will cause a worldwide electronic blackout, which will simultaneously erase everyone's bank account information, thus creating chaos and panic. I'm not too sure about that if they're going to do it at the same time. That's. Can you imagine? But we spoke about that before, something like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's bound to happen whether or not we like it, though, Rob, because these.
Could you picture it? Like, how are they going to explain it? Yeah, it's been erased. What are they going to say? You know, they're going to say, oh my gosh, it's gone. It's gone. We don't see anything anymore. Where's our money? Like, how are they going to explain it? Like when we wake up, it was going to say, you know, they're going to have to come up with a plausible situation. They just kind of erase it.
Yeah,
just
right.
Like that.
Well, they could actually, because...
yeah, they could, but what would be the reason? So people don't go bonkers.
No, it's because I told you, because they want to freeze the money in the bank, kind of like what they did in Greece and in Cyprus. I think they did that. They froze the money in the banks, and people lost, like they weren't able to go in the bank to take their money. So here they'll just do it a step ahead by getting rid of, you know, taking away your right to going and take your money. Well, they'll say, well, it's gone.
Right.
All right, so we'll go to the article.
Yeah, we'll go to the article right here, look it over, dig deep as best as we can, because that's what we are here for, to dig deep into the information. Okay, so electronic banking conspiracy. The theory of electronic conspiracy is said to be a variant of modern New World Order conspiracy theories. The theory consists of the belief that a belief that a secret group has attempted for centuries to reach world domination, even if the result by design would be world destruction. According to this theory, the worldwide dominion has been planned for antiquity and follows the following phrases: the substitution of precious metal-based coin currency by paper currency. Number 2, the appearance of virtual money, where credit cards money approaches hold virtual status. Number 3, the proliferation of internet and electronic commerce from the internet. You need an internet-connected computer, obviously. Number 4, the concentration of the World Bank into a few hands. Number 5, the worldwide implementation of electronic identity card. Yeah, we know what that sounds like. Number 6, the great worldwide blackout. A tremendous disaster will take place when and after a great electrical blackout on a planetary scale. The data of all electronic accounts will erase simultaneously. after this event, chaos and poverty will immediately insert through the planet, and civilization will revert to its primitive forms of slavery to survive. This is the last aim of the secret organization, which has spent centuries guiding this process. The worldwide blackout will be preceded by partial blackouts that would only be tests and signals to communicate the different phases of the process are being fulfilled. An example of these partial blackouts would be those that have been produced almost simultaneously in different parts around the world and at the beginning of the 21st century, shortly after the September 11, 21 attacks, after the blackouts in the US, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom. Doesn't that sound scary?
Yeah, but they can definitely do that. This sounds very possible, though.
It's very
I could predict it. It's predictable.
When people get scared.
Yeah, because then they won't be able to use their phones anymore. Once you can't use your phones anymore and use technology, then
yeah, but if that happens, then it gives us a good reason we don't have to go to work because we won't get no money.
Yeah, but then how we're gonna live? That means we have to go fishing, Rob.
If that happens, I'm not gonna go to work not to get paid.
That means we have to
go to work to get paid. What?
Rob, that means we're going to have to go and kill squirrels and eat them. Sorry to all the humane society out there that you know.
Now, why did you say that? Now we're going to have the human activist groups, the animal groups after us for you saying that, but it's okay.
There's too many squirrels, man. There's a lot of squirrels. We can kill them and eat them, you know? I mean, it's us that's more important, right? Humans.
Squirrel. I don't want to kill Scrat. You know Scrat from Ice Age?
I know, Rob, but it's a survival.
He looks cute and cuddly.
Okay, so pigeons then. Pigeons.
Even worse.
Hey, okay, let's get back to the topic then.
Yeah, because they want to have the butchers after us, right? They'll say you're trying to run us out of business here. All right. Okay, so so the monetary system is a decentralized private property. The few academics and economics are willing to accept even a pseudo gold standard do not believe the government should be out of money business. They do not believe in the widespread use of gold coins, the general population. They believe in central banks and believe in government control over the banking system. Yeah, that's true. That's what they believe in. That they want to be in control of it all by the touch of a button. Even the late Aaron Russo said that Rockefeller, Nick Rockefeller, the late Aaron Russo said that Nick Rockefeller wants to control everyone, not for money, but to get everybody chip. And if you don't listen to them, all they do is just turn off your chip, and there you go. You're off the grid. You can't buy or sell anything.
And we're not talking about chocolate chips here. We're talking about chips implanted in our skin, right, Rob?
Yes, exactly.
Only if it would be chocolate chip, but then we'd be getting diabetes.
Well, a bit of chocolate chip, you know.
And we'd be angry. Then we'd be angry sheep, just like the next article.
Exactly. And the next article, right here, electronic banking conspiracy 101. So let's get on to it. Okay, so the theory of electronic conspiracy is said to be a variant of modern New World Order conspiracy theories. The theory consists of the benefit that a secret group has attempted for centuries to reach world domination. And over here it says oh boy. Oh no.
Well, what happened?
Okay, no, it's similar to the other article here. But yeah. The concentration of the worldwide bank into few hands by means of continuous international banking fusions. Yeah, they want to bank all the banks into one. The worldwide implementation of an electronic identity card. This will be the identity card, world, global. Number 6, the great blackout that we spoke to. After this chaos, it says that it's a primitive form of slavery to survive. This is the last aim at the secret organization which has spent centuries guide the process. The worldwide blackout will be preceded by partial blackouts. That will be tests and signals. And we said that before. The theory of electronic conspiracy is said to be a variant of modern New World Order conspiracy theories. The theory consists of the belief that a secret group has attempted for centuries to reach world domination, even if the result by design would be world destruction. So here we have a group here that wants the world destruction, but yet wants to dominate. So that is pretty funny.
It doesn't make sense.
That they want to, you know, world domination.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but the people at the top don't make sense. They want to depopulate us for giving us pills and medicines that make us more sick to begin with than anything else, or give us more problems that you have more problems to begin with than before. And trust me, I know about pills and that, and so do you, and so does everybody else. All right. So yeah, because of the internet and electronic commerce, credit cards are no longer needed. The concentration of the worldwide banks to few hands by means of continuous international banking fusions means that there's going to be one main bank controlling it all, headed, of course, by the Rothschild banking industry, since they do control the world, more or less.
Just about. There's like 5-6 countries they don't control yet. Maybe that's why this isn't out yet, but as soon as they control those 5 or 6 countries, then yeah, I do picture this happening. But that's why they're going after Syria, because Syria is not under the control of the Illuminati, right? Not just yet.
Exactly. No, but that's what they want to.
So that's a key figure for everybody. That's very important information right there, what I just mentioned.
Well, yeah. Key information, folks. I mean, when you come here on our show, you learn everything.
You have to learn everything. It's a must, because that's why we're here.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure. For sure. And the thing is, we're here to do it all for you guys. And here's the next article right here. Global, and it's a thread over here that I decided to put up because, you know, threads, it's good. I mean, this is for folks that want to see what's going on. Like, you know, this is good for them to see this, because it's good for the information. Afterwards, when the show's recorded, they can go and join the thread. And as we begin this right here, global chipping and the global blackout. According to some conspiracy theorists, virtual money, credit card, and debits were created by a secret group that plans to dominate the world. Yeah, and this video right here says, "Would you let yourself be chipped?" And it's a great video, and it does talk about it more and more. And if you go down, are you able to go down?
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay.
I'm multitasking, you know, because I'm getting so much activity going on in the conspiracy talk, non-stop, you know?
Yeah. Electronic banking conspiracy is part of the New World Order. And right here, VeriChip, the company that markets a microchip implant that links to your online health records, has acquired Steel Vault, a credit monitoring anti-theft company. The combined company will operate under a new name, Positive ID. The all-stock transaction will leave Positive ID in charge of a burgeoning empire of identity, health, and microchip implant business.
Okay, hold on, Rob. VeriChip, I see it everywhere. When I do payments, I see VeriChip. Like when I do payments with Visa, MasterCard, whatever,
okay,
I see it. So it's good to know that they're going to be changing its names. Like that we'll know. If we don't see VeriChip, but it'll still be going under a different name.
Positive ID sounds even more ominous name than VeriChip.
Yeah, because they don't want to frighten people. It's like putting a frog in hot boiling water. Well, the frog will jump out. Well, it's the same thing there. By doing that, like now us, well, just Positive ID. It's okay. Nothing there to it, right?
Right, that's right. Yeah, nothing there to it. When all they want to do is just give us Positive ID. They just want to ID us. They just want to chip, bag, and tag us all.
That's because we're all numbers. That's why. To these people, we're all numbers.
I know, exactly, folks. So, you know, over here on the worldwide transmission known as MnRTV Live Show, where everyone gets to learn something, and we get to learn something as we do the show, as we bring it to you.
Well, I don't know if there's anything left in this article that's important, Rob.
Let me see over here. No, it's just, well, yeah, we go down a bit more down, obviously. Yeah, go down.
We keep seeing that September 11,
I know.
2001. Why?
I know it.
9/11. I know what it's about, but
is the Illuminati NWO preparing for global chipping and the global blackout world? Would you let yourself be chipped? And then if you go down, we're just gonna go down quickly through it. It's people talking about it. This is like a thread over here, and it's a great thread if people want to get into it. And some people saying it's never gonna happen. And then there's all kinds of nonsense over here. You know how a thread goes, eh, Mario?
yeah.
I mean, can you just read it right there? Of course not. Global chipping has already been achieved by the lizard people.
So they believe in lizard people, whoever that is.
Exactly. And some people think it's a stupid conspiracy. And you know how threads are, how it is on Facebook and Twitter and Google Plus and so on and so forth.
Well, they always try to debunk, eh?
Yeah, exactly, for sure. So right here they're trying to debunk the electronic conspiracy, the global blackout. I just do wonder what the heck's going to happen with a global blackout.
Are we ready for it? Now that's the question.
I don't know if we're ready for it, but here is a great look at these pictures.
Hold on, I'm gonna just okay, adjust it so like the writing is not too small because I want people to check it out, you know.
Look at the Queen. She has black eye.
Rob, it's probably photoshopped. Like, you know, they always keep saying about my stuff that I put up on Conspiracy Talk. They always say it's photoshopped, you know?
Exactly. For sure. 5 unbelievable conspiracy theories that people actually believe in. You've probably heard of the fake moon landings theory, or 9/11 shooters, or the Obama is Kenyan theories. But here are the tip of the iceberg conspiracy theories that are circulating on the internet. Here are 5 examples. I'm just going to go through them fast. Because since we're on the subject of theories, conspiracies, electronic beams control people's thoughts and actions. We've covered that before, and that is true. With HARP, amongst other things. And NASA can cause you physical pain. Yes, NASA can cause you physical pain and put thoughts in your head. That's true. And even have their own website, electronictorture.com. All right, so we're going to go to...
here's my favorite, number 2, shape-shifting.
Reptilians controlling the Earth. Shape-shifting reptilians, aliens controlling the Earth, number 2 right here. And some of the most powerful people on Earth, from Barack Obama to Queen Elizabeth, are secretly shape-shifting reptilian aliens who pose as our leaders in order to enslave humankind. The shadowy cabal runs everything from government, the military, banking, corporations, and the media, and control the masses with mind control and false religion. To maintain their lizard shape, they have to drink the bloods of humans, preferably children, which they receive through satanic ritual sacrifice, which no wonder thousands of children go missing worldwide around a year.
There's always children missing.
Exactly. And number 3, which gets us here, electronic banking will enslave us all. The national ID card, which would be probably called the International Global Identification Card. But by then I don't think it'll be a card, I think it'll be a chip inside of us. Since the Renaissance, money has gradually grown from being intrinsically valuable objects such as gold coins to become paper representing value, and finally just digital numbers transferred via the internet. Once banks consolidate further into the hands of the few and powerful, and our value is in the electronic accounts, a global system of electronic ID will be established. Then a worldwide blackout will wipe out all accounts, and a new dark age will follow, in which the secret organization behind the centuries-long plan will enslave us. The sixth step of this conspiracy circulates the web. Conspiracy forms like godlike productions and often goes hand in hand with thoughts of Illuminati, New World Order, and FEMA camps. And number 4, which we talked about earlier, the Illuminati raised a monument to depopulation in Georgia Guidestones. Isn't it amazing, Mario, that the Georgia Guidestones are getting more and more into the news?
Well, not into the mainstream news, but more and more people are talking about it.
Yeah, but when we brought it up 2 years ago,
Yeah,
more and more people, and this was in 1980. The recipe for the New World Order: keep the world under 500 million, guidelines, reproductions to be done wise, with only the smartest people, the most fit people, and the rest of us will not be able to carve. I mean, we'll not be able to mate. Number 5.
The next one, yes.
Yes, one of your favorite ones. There's a planet called Nibiru, and it's going to destroy Earth. And then we could see a simulation of the gigantic Nibiru planet coming to Earth and decimating it.
But that means Earth will be part of Nibiru. It doesn't mean that we'll be dead.
Well, if it collides. A giant planet called Nibiru was discovered by ancient Sumerians passed close by Earth every 3,600 years, and will soon be back to wreak havoc on us by disrupting the Earth's magnetic field, according to several pages on the internet. This pole shift will cause earthquakes, massive tsunamis, and global warmings. Other versions of the theory state that Nibiru will simply collide with Earth, vaporizing the planet. The Nibiru theory, which was created in the 70s by author Zecharia Sitchin's book, The 12th Planet, has been tied to multiple celestial events, most notably the December 21st, 2012 doomsday scenario, which of course does not happen.
No, it made us so cool. It made
that. Because well, the week before the show, don't remember, I had done a show. We had done a show, MnRTV, saying, and we had called it the biggest non-event in history. And it was a non-event because nothing actually happened on that day. All I remember is there was snow here in Montreal on 2012.
Yeah, it's like it was you know what? I was saying to myself, look, you see, nothing happened. I wasn't expecting anything major to happen. No. But the reason why we did this, we put up this article, is because of number 3, right? The rest, that's
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But you know, it's always good to talk about everything else that's tied into it, because all of this is tied into the other conspiracies formed by the New World Order.
And they want us talking about it. Well, not really, right? But we're still talking about it. We're still going to put it out there on a show.
They don't want us doing this, and of course we're probably going to get killed for it, or made sick, or something. Who knows?
The next article.
Yes, cluster of central banks have secretly invested $29 trillion in the market. $29 trillion in the market. Another conspiracy theory becomes conspiracy fact. As the FT reports, a cluster of central banking investors who become major players on world equity markets. The report, to be published this week by the official monetary and financial institution, confirms $29.1 trillion in market investments held by 400 public sector institutions in 162 countries, which could potentially contribute to overheated assets prices. And China's involved in it, and which leads us to wondering, where are the central bank's 13 Fs?
Where are they?
The 13 banks. Well, we know about the 13 family that rule the world. With the head of the Rothschild family, headquartered in London. And as the article goes, that central banks across the world, including China's, have shifted decisively into investing in equities. Doesn't China already? Isn't America so much in debt that China owns them already? They just haven't collected.
Yeah, there's no way out of that. Lucky China has a lot of goods, you know,
Exactly.
and they want petroleum.
I
We
don't know
can't
what they
forget
want, but
about
they
that.
want. Yeah, there's something that they want, you know.
Yeah, with Russia, you know, between them and Russia and Syria, that's how Syria is involved with all this, and there's a war in Syria or whatever. They want to bomb Syria. But anyhow, we're getting off topic here.
The financial report seems identifies the 25.1 trillion, 29.1 trillion market investments. Now, could you imagine 29 trillion? That could feed everybody. That could feed everybody on Earth many times
Yeah.
over.
But the reality
There'd be
is
no more poor people. There'd be no more. Well, diseases would be cured if they wanted to. They could cure the disease with 29 trillion. What they could do, none of us would be poor. We could all have mansions and houses and cars and God knows what else. But of course, they don't want that. China, what do they want to do? They want to use their money to in effect destroy the economy using $29 trillion.
Hmm.
And who has this $29 trillion? Who
Where
else?
is it?
No, who has it? Of course, the New World Order, the Illuminati have this money. But they're using their money for bad purposes, not for good.
No.
And some people are saying, no, they don't have that kind of money. But the Rothschild family is worth about, last time I checked, $600 trillion. So 29 trillion, they definitely have.
Okay, and back with topic again because we're going off topic.
No, we're not. We're talking about 29 trillions. All right, are you able to go down?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is a conspiracy fact. Central banks around the world are buying stocks in increasing size. To summarize, the global liquidity market is now one massive Ponzi scheme in which at the dumb money are central banks themselves, the same banks who inject the liquidity to begin with. And the world GDP expectations in 2014 and the stock index seems to be going just a little bit crazy right there.
Downwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, actually, the stock index is going up and the world GDP is going down.
The global, exactly. But the thing is, but you see, this could tie in with obviously the Georgia Guidestones 2014 thing that they put up. This ties into it.
Yeah, for sure it ties into it.
Exactly.
Because what's the point of them making us happy, right? We are not supposed to be happy.
Happy here. Whew. It's getting worse and worse.
They want us to be slaves to that dollar bill. That's what they want. Anyhow, the next article, banking and paper money.
Toilet paper. The Illuminati's new mission statement. Sorry about that. And here's an article, a big article that talks about if the American people ever allow private banks to control the issue of the currency, first by inflation, then by deflation, the banks will deprive the people of all property until the children wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered. The issuing powers should be taken from the banks and restored to the people. Yeah, I agree about that. When they wake up homeless. Can you imagine homeless? Hopefully it's not a cold winter.
Homeless don't even have a place to live. They don't want to, they don't want them to have life, they want them out of the way. You know that, eh, Rob?
Yeah, yeah, I do know that. And if they put them in FEMA camps, and they would probably decimate them.
Hmm. And they want us to be homeless too on the streets. And this is written by Thomas
Thomas
Jefferson.
Jefferson, exactly, by Thomas Jefferson, right here.
And this one,
Yeah,
also by Thomas Jefferson in
yeah, exactly.
in 1802.
1802, yeah. And we could see it right here, folks. I'm not going to read it though, because it's by the great Thomas Jefferson right there. And he would be, I'm sure he's turning in his grave when he sees these things happening, coming to fruition.
Let's say, where has this beautiful country of the United States gone? You know, powerful United States. Why did it fall in enemies' hands? Indirectly, it fell in enemies' hands.
And right there, it talks about how money's made and how the Ponzi scheme works, the money scam. Right there, I'm not going to read it obviously, but it's for all you folks that can see this, that are interested in this article. It just goes on to talk about it, and it's really a must-read article. That's for sure. For sure.
The goldsmith. Is that the name of a family?
Yeah, I swear by the Father, who said you cannot serve God and Mammon. That if you really know what money was, you'd want no part of it.
Why is it small capital, small G, not a capital G?
What, goldsmith?
Mm-hmm.
It's a word. I didn't know it had to be capitalized when it's not the first.
I thought it was a person, Rob.
Goldsmith? No, not a person. What do you mean? Like a last name?
Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm getting out of hand, out of control.
No, not by any chance. And look, there's the American dollar bill right there. On the left-hand side, you see the LC9, a triangle. It's not completed.
Which will be completed soon.
Yeah, and there's 13 steps on the pyramid for the 13 bloodlines. And I risk repeating this, but this is for the new viewers, because we have new viewers tonight from England. I don't know what time it is there now. I think it's pretty late.
Probably 6 o'clock in the morning or something.
Whatever time it is. I have to check. I'm not exactly sure, but they're watching.
Midnight.
Exactly. So yeah, so there we have the $1 bill right there. And you go to a bank too. Oh yeah, that worthless paper shown in the picture above is not money. It's the biggest sham ever. The IMF World Bank that sits above the Fed or Federal Reserve has produced what we shall call debt notes. You go to a bank to borrow money, or you think you do. In fact, the money is merely figures typed into your computer account. It does not exist except as figures in a computer program. The banks are allowed to lend at least 10 times what they have on deposit, but this deposit tool is only a figure on screen. There is no money. It's an illusion. David Icke.
But Rob, the money is supposed to represent
gold,
silver, real value. But how can
there is no value. It's all a Ponzi scheme. I'm telling you.
So we're working for no reason.
Exactly. Killing ourselves. And the dollar deception. It has been called the most astonishing piece of sleight of hand ever invented. The creation of money has been privatized, usurped from Congress by private banking cartel. Most people think money is issued by fiat by the government, but that's not the case, except for coins which compose only about 1/1000 of the total U.S. money supply. All of our money is now created by banks. And then you see Uncle
Sam. Yes.
Now Uncle Sam right there. Have you seen Uncle Sam lately?
No, only now I've seen him.
But you've seen him before, no?
Yeah, I've seen him all the time, Uncle Sam.
Okay.
Notice the star, what he has. He has the stars.
Exactly.
On his hat.
Yeah. Right there, yeah,
And
exactly. And there's a stock market right there, folks. Look right there, and it's just unbelievable that when that thing crashes, that's what's gonna happen. When that thing crashes and they wipe out all the money in the bank, it's gonna be chaos over there. I could see massive rollouts, massive blackouts, massive riots over there.
chaos and destruction.
Right there, people's gold. Right there, all the money. Right there.
But it's nice money, though, Rob. Yeah, you have to admit, the American money is nice. It's only
No,
one
I'm
color,
saying
it's green.
knowing my luck, I'll get, if ever this happened, if ever I get rich, I'd get rich one day. I'd be super happy, obviously, for obvious reasons. Next thing you know, the next day, the money thing gets erased.
Hmm.
Could you
But you know
picture
what I want
that?
to know, Rob? You know what I want to know?
No.
What's the eye on that triangle? Is it Abraham Lincoln's eye? No. Uh,
No.
Thomas Jefferson? No. Who's the other guy? The guy that created the light bulb there.
Thomas Edison?
No, not Thomas Edison. It's not
Benjamin
Edison. No, it's Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson.
Could it be or no?
Electricity was Benjamin Franklin.
There you go, Franklin. Yes,
No,
thank
no,
you.
no, that's Osiris. Osiris, also known as Isis, an ancient from Egypt, and the Eye of Horus.
But the eye I'm talking, I know what it represents, Rob. I'm saying that eye. It's like they took it from him. It looks like his eye.
It does.
And he's looking at us right now. That's why I'm pushing it up. I don't want him looking at us.
No,
I
we,
just
we,
want
we're
the,
getting nothing spied upon right here. Central banking is the creation and ownership of every nation's currency by privatization and by private bankers on the same persistent discipline for the sake of unlimited profit by inherent irreversible multiplications of debt necessarily wrought in every nation. Some say gold is not money, and perhaps they are right. Perhaps not money is just a funny thing, an odd sort of ducks, as no one seems to know for sure just what is and just what isn't. Yeah, have you noticed that now money is just numbers on a computer screen?
yeah. It's like
And
monopoly money, Rob. Monopoly money.
yeah, like when we put our money in the banks, it profits and it's safe to do.
This is by Ron Paul.
By who? Ron Paul.
Yeah, paper money and tyranny.
Oh yeah.
See, what
Oh
would
yeah,
this
Ron
show be?
Paul. Yeah, Ron Paul could have been the president of the United States back in 2012.
But no, the American, well, can't say it's the American people. It's the companies that bought, Obama out.
Oh, exactly. Oh, for sure.
It's the big companies, the oil companies, petroleum. They're the ones who
Exactly.
dictate everything.
I know, exactly. It's just unreal. It's unreal that they do such things. And yeah, and the Federal Reserve is not. It's privately owned. It's not the U.S. government that controls it. The Fed and the Fed. You remember I used to wear my shirt and the Fed
Yeah, and where did you get that shirt from?
from the one and only Infowars.com. Alex Jones.
I know, I miss Alex Jones.
I haven't watched in a long time.
I know, me neither.
Somebody wrote that it's Albert Pike's eye.
Albert Pike.
Yes, the Freemason.
Yeah, Freemasons. I know because I've been looking into that.
When just as we're talking.
No. Recently, because I've been doing research on the Illuminati and Freemasonry.
Okay, exactly. The Freemasons. Yeah, and there's the banking from the Rothschild in England.
Yeah, this is a long article, eh, Rob?
Yeah, we have more articles.
Hold on, let me check.
Because I can't remember now.
Yeah, we have one more after this.
Okay. Oh yeah, the Beast of Jekyll Island. in 1913, I believe, or around then. That's when it was created. The Federal Reserve in the United States was created in secrecy on Jekyll Island. Now, why did it need to be secrecy? Well, because when something's in secret, it can't be good.
No, that's what I've been always saying about the Freemasons. What are they hiding? You know?
What are they hiding? Probably much stuff that they're hiding. That's for sure. All you have to do is just look at Albert Pike and realize. There's Alan Greenspan. Back in 2006, and there's Ben Bernanke. I don't hear Ben Bernanke. Has he been taken out?
I don't know. Whatever happened? Someone know what happened to Ben Bernanke?
We always hear about him.
He was like a big banker, no?
Yeah.
There's District of Columbia.
Working for the Illuminati. Ben Bernanke. I'm sure someone in the chat room knows what happened.
Let me go on the chat and see if anybody knows. Does anybody write? No, nobody knows. Nobody writing about it, right?
Maybe they don't know. In a great chat room.
Yes, our great rectangle. You see that? All in green and blue. Should be green and red, but I write in red.
I write in blue. Because then people get confused.
But anyhow, back to our article.
To this information right here, and it goes on and on to talk about the Bankers' Manifesto in 1892. You see, these are plans, slowly, over the centuries, over decades of what they plan on doing.
King William of Orange. How about King William of Apple? Was there a King William of Apple?
I don't know, maybe. Now it's apple season now, by the way.
Season.
Yeah, and global banking, the banking industry settlements. When David Rockefeller and Zbigniew Brzezinski founded the Trilateral Commission in 1973, the intent was to create a new international economic order. To this end, they brought together 300 elite corporations, political and academic leaders from North America, Japan, and Europe. But of course, this article hides even more. They never say the full truth to it. And you know what I'm talking about, right?
But wait a minute, Rob. The Trilateral Commission by David Rockefeller and that other guy. I can't even pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Where's the third person? So this should be the Bilateral Commission instead of Trilateral Commission, because we're seeing two names here. What about the third person? Is it the Rothschild? See, now this is a good question, right?
Yeah, well, apparently this is, if I remember, the Trilateral Commission that was in the United States, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to back in my mind to a whole bunch of information here, trying to rewind. The Trilateral Commission, there's the Bilderbergs, the CFRA.
No, Rob, you don't understand. Who's the third member of the Trilateral Commission? I wonder. Who is it? Rothschild?
No, I think it's your good buddy. I'm not sure, but it may be your good buddy. The one and the only, Mr. Henry Kissinger. Could it be?
Yeah, it could be Kissinger.
I think so. I haven't researched this in a long time.
Anybody know in the chat room?
Yeah, and apparently Ben Bernanke has been replaced. Because somebody just put a link up. Yeah. I'm gonna have to check that link after the show. Rockefeller, Brzezinski, and who's the other one?
Anybody, please. Is it, no, I don't think it is Kissinger.
No?
I don't think so. Why would he? He just plans wars out there.
By the 70s, he was responsible for many wars, Henry
That's
Kissinger.
what I'm saying.
A lot of that.
But why would he be in charge of banking?
No, not in charge, but just part of it. He's everywhere. He's like a snake. Just everywhere. In some places more than others.
The IRS.
The Nazi gold. Right there. People have heard of the Nazi gold.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into it now. The money changers, the international bankers, and every favorite people, the bloody IRS, right here. What happens when the IRS was asked to join the law that says Americans must pay taxes? You can join the class action lawsuit against the IRS and expose the way they have been defrauding the people decade after decade to finance the Illuminati agenda. And there's a lot of information about the IRS. We're not going to get into it because that's getting off topic, but that's another scheme altogether.
And here's your favorite part: cashless society. That's your favorite, Rob. You've always been talking.
That in the 90s.
Yes, I remember. You were like, Rob, you were obsessed with this topic.
I think I still have the books on it. Yeah, I still have the books. Visa USA contactless payment platform operational ready. After successful trials in several regions of the world, Visa USA says it is ready to begin its US rollout of its contactless payment platform. 3 or 4 days a week, Darren Hires got a lunch at Sterling convenience store near the car dealership where he works. He grabs a chicken sandwich and a soda and heads to the checkout counter, where a little gadget scans his index finger and instantly deducts the money from his checking account. As a next step in the project, Melger also said it will incorporate the PayPass enabled. Don't they have that already?
Yeah.
The card issued by, and now don't they have pay-as-you-go?
The same thing, it's just a different name.
PayPass. You just put your card through, and it goes.
It's the same thing, Rob.
But but it's up to $50. Only $50, because obviously if someone if someone loses it, someone just could take it and they lose $50. I have some bad news for those optimists. There will be no recovery. What is happening now is, as David Icke has written, and a linked part of a grand strategy to create a new world order, one world state, with a world government, world army, world bank, world currency, world religion, and a vastly reduced population of a microchip slaves. Money as we know it will soon cease to exist. In its place will be electronic money, initially utilized via biometric ID cards, being introduced at the moment in the United Kingdom and elsewhere. Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
And
the Bilderberg file.
The Bilderberg file, the world economy and the financial meltdown. You know, I'd like to know the date that this is gonna happen. Like that, I could prepare.
But how are you gonna prepare?
And then I'll have to go to work. Because if you know it's coming, you can't. Well, how could you?
Well, what if we're stuck at work when it happens? Now that's another thing.
I don't get what you mean. If we're stuck at work, we leave. We go home.
Now, well, what if it happens while we're doing this show?
Well, I think if that happened right away, someone in the chat room would be talking about it, and we'd probably be doing an all-nighter show.
Yeah, but there's a problem with that. How will people be watching if there's a blackout?
Well, it depends what kind of blackout. Are they talking about a bank blackout, or are they talking about an electrical blackout? Because then we couldn't do the show either. Because unfortunately, electricity is one of the most important things around.
They have us by the neck with electricity, or with the nose, by the nose.
Yeah, amongst other parts. Global systematic crisis, September 2008. That was a phase back in 2008, phase of collapse of U.S. real economy.
Real estate.
I remember. The real estate, exactly.
I posted something up on that, on the conspiracy talk, not too long ago, actually.
Okay, and how did that go?
Well, everybody was commenting about it, but I was posting so much, so people kind of, you know.
Okay, yeah. Well, the conspiracy talk, 232 people in 1 week. That's a lot of people. That group just keeps going up and up. Stagflation, hyperinflation, or just the end of way of your life. We've got people charged with cleaning up the corporate broken system, going out with an $80,000 hooker bill and being replaced by blind man. The current El Presidente is a wind-up doll for a bunch that should all be in orange jumpsuits. It would be comical if it weren't so sad to watch it all go down in a modern-day tragedy. But you've heard of hyperinflation, Mario?
Yeah.
Like something like bread would cost like $20 a bread.
Yeah, but it's coming to that, well, now it's with taxes.
For a piece, $50 for, I don't know, a piece of meat, I know there are meat, but like just a little hamburger or something, $50, $12, $13 milk. I'm just running shifts here, I mean, not shifts. I'm just running the numbers over here, which I don't know exactly, but people get the idea of what hyperinflation is.
Well, now here we're just so taxed, heavily taxed.
Exactly, and there's David Icke right there, and there's your man right there, Zbigniew Brzezinski.
No, I don't think he's my man, but he looks evil, man. This guy looks very evil.
Yeah, he pulls a lot of strings. He hides behind the shadows. And it took a lot of people to and he was very dangerous. The people that exposed him, they put their lives in danger.
And where is he now?
Brzezinski. What?
Where is he now?
I haven't heard about him too much now. And here's Ben Bernanke right there, the little cartoon right there. And apparently some people in the chat room, he's been replaced.
Replaced by who though?
And not somebody that's good, that's for sure. And famine has killed what?
Famine killed, yes.
7 million people in the USA, and this is from March 20th, 2008. So, yeah, the Great Depression, but it's going to be worse. It's going to be the economy is going to be like worse than the Great Depression.
Because they built it up so big.
Exactly. For sure. A financial meltdown. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you see that's a pretty long article. I think that's it for this article.
Yeah, because we can be here all night just looking at this interesting article. But
oh, for sure.
Man, aren't we ever in danger?
Yeah, we are. Of this happening.
If they get their way.
Exactly. And here is the last article of the evening, folks. The end of money. Nobody might be able to buy or sell except a person having the mark, the name of the beast, or the number of its name. Here is wisdom. Come in. Let the one that has intelligence calculate the number of the wild beast, for it is a man's number, and its number is 666. Revelations 13, 17, and 18. As our world shakes and reels from the shockwaves of the current financial crisis, there's still those who believe naively that what is now occurring is part of some cynical ebb and flow in the evolution of the world's financial markets, which will in time begin to recover, and once again the good times will return. I have some bad news for those optimists. There will be no recovery. What is happening now is, as David Icke has written at length, part of a grand strategy to create a new world order, one world state, one world government, one army, one world bank, one currency, one world religion. It will be electronic money, all done by personal microchips replete with RFID technology. The process will be sold to the public on the basis of being to everyone's advantage. Never again will our children be vulnerable to capture and the abuse. You know, they forgot to put GPS tracked also.
And Google.
With the help of the mother of them all, Google, the spy, the eye in the sky, right there.
I'm surprised they didn't put, but...
Yeah, maybe. The above verse at the top of the page from the book of Revelation is prophetic indeed, and we are moving even closer to the time that without that mark, in our case, chip, we will be unable to survive. The economic aspect and goal of the Illuminati, as stated in paragraph 2, is a world currency. In order to effect this, it has been necessary to degrade the independent national currencies. The introduction of the euro was a stepping stone towards this, and the current economic woes being felt in the UK are undoubtedly intended to drag the one proud nation kicking and screaming into the single currency. Only an increment towards the final solution to the Luciferian Illuminati's goal of world domination and the world's banking system. And of course, what they're going to do is they're going to collapse the U.S. dollar. And it's even
So
this
get ready
article,
for that.
it even says it happened. Look, the dollar died and no one attended the funeral. In fact, few even realized that the former giant of global finances has passed away. And people hope there will be a recovery like the phoenix rises from the ashes, will bounce back. But that's not true. The dollar is dead. Only the murderers themselves know the exact moment the hit took place. Many believe that the life force of the dollar face began to wane back in January 1980. Yeah. So that's when it could have started really waning, back in the 80s. Back in January 1980. And right here, the Illuminati schemes through U.S. government debt and conspirational acts succeed in diminishing the value of the dollar significantly. The second blow came in August 1982 as the IMF was about to begin its annual meeting in Toronto. That month, Mexico, Brazil, and a host of other nations deeply indebted to the U.S. declared themselves unable to pay. Mexico alone owns $64 billion. The total sum is close to $94 billion. Yeah, so that's a lot of money, folks. And that's back then. In 1982, it's the billions. Now we're not dealing in billions. We're dealing in trillions now.
Yeah, a couple of decades have passed.
Exactly. Oh, for sure. And the thing is, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, like a balloon. It's going up and up and up and up, and soon one day, paf, it's going to explode in everyone's faces, and everyone's going to have eggs on their faces when this happens. Most wealth is not even in the form of money anymore. It is represented by a piece of paper, deposit slip, that a bank gives you, symbolizing the wealth you gave to it. Since the bank lent you money, your money to somebody else, it cannot return. It cannot return it to you anymore. The person who borrowed your money from your bank bought something, and the person, a company who sold it to him, put the money in some other bank and received another paper slip of it. Could you imagine if we all asked, everybody asked all for the money back, went all to the banks and asked, yeah, I want my money back? What happened with the banks? The banks would be empty.
They make sure that you don't take it out.
Yeah, if we all went to our banks and said, yeah, we want our money, we want to take it out. Because their great Ponzi scheme would be exposed.
Especially in the United States.
Yeah.
But that's why they make people so that they're all broke, so they can't get their money back.
Yeah, and here's a little Bible quote that prophesies, but know this, that in the last days of critical times left hard to deal with will be here. Men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, self-assuming, harder, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, disloyal, having no affection, not open to any agreement, slanderers, without self-control, fierce, without love of goodness, betrayers, headstrong, puffed up with pride, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godly devotion but providing false to its power, and from then it turns away. Doesn't that sound like today?
Yeah, it does.
Reading a newspaper of today or listening to the news?
And yet they want us to believe that the Bible is not true, it's passé, it's finished, get it over with.
That book is more current than people realize.
It can be applied to today's society, but people of today's society don't want it to be applied to them.
Even if we were to show them the proof, they'd say no, because they don't want to know the proof. They don't want to know. They can't handle the truth. That's the thing. He who controls the money, Mayor Ashmel Rothschild, the founder of the Rothschild dynasty, is quoted as having, and this right here is a very famous quote: "Give me control over a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws." And that's true, because He doesn't care as long as he controls it all. He doesn't care who runs it because he's behind it.
Well, money controls people, eh?
Yeah, money controls people and money talks. The Illuminati claim to be descended from a fallen angel who taught them the ancient wisdom, also known as the Kabbalah, which they have been preserved throughout the centuries. These fallen angels are referred to in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, as the Nephilims, the sons of gods. And here we're getting
There you go.
we're getting into the Nephilims, the sons of God, right here, which we've done many shows on that. Many past shows. We've had the great L.A. Marzulli on our show talking about the Nephilims, the sons of gods. And even back in those days, there was money.
No, they're probably the ones that created it.
Well, yeah,
for the system on this.
Yeah, because they intermarried within each other, created hybrids, and when they died at the great biblical flood, what happened was there was demons, the dead spirits. But that's getting off topic right now, obviously. But that's what is at the head of the Illuminati. Just it's just something people might say, wow, you guys are, because of us. We often get emails from people saying, you guys have shown us stuff that's unreal, just unbelievable, and they're very proud to know about this. Suffice to say, there's a core of 13 families who trace the lineage back to the nearest of East in biblical times, and they include the royal heads of Europe, presidents of the U.S., a huge number of whom are interrelated with the European royal houses, the leading industrialists, media, tycoons, bankers, and generally the ruling global case. They are worshippers of Lucifer and operate through a vast array of secret societies and front groups. Right there, the 13 families, folks. Like I said before, they control it. But they're not even humans, right here. Interconnected bloodlines of the above intimidated 13 families. A global financial crisis, global solutions. That's what they want to do. And that's why there's a banking conspiracy.
They want us to turn to the government.
Yeah, well, yeah. Create a problem, reaction, solution. In the infamous words of many people.
But the government doesn't have no solutions.
No, exactly. Exactly. And they work. And these that who works for the 13 families? The terrorists, mafiosos, drug cartels. They work for the Illuminati. Yeah, and this is for someone that asked me who controls the mafia. Well, who controls the mafia? The Illuminati.
There's the RFID microchip.
Exactly. Somebody's asking me demons or aliens. Well, aliens actually are the fallen angels, and when they came down to the earth, they mated with the daughters of men, and they had kids, and they were known as the Nephilims. And when they died, what happened was they were half human and half angels, so they couldn't die. So their spirits were stuck on earth. So their souls are stuck on earth, not their souls, but their spirits. So they became demons, and it talks about that in the Bible. Because someone's asking me that in the chat room, and I can't type at the same time as I'm doing the show. The spread of AIDS would be curtailed as drug abuse ends. The cost of government would go down, as would the cost of private business, tax evasion, payment in cash to avoid sales tax. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what happens. They want e-money. E-money.
Or
electronic
Bitcoin.
money. Eh?
Bitcoin. No, there's Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin. But someone said it should be known as BitChip. What coin? I don't see no coin, And look it up, and look, further reading, Millennium by the great Tex Mars, Terrorism and the Illuminati by David Livingstone. I had that book. The 13 Bloodlines of the Illuminati, obviously by my great mentor, the one and the only Fritz Springmeier. None Dare Call It a Conspiracy by Gary Allen, and the Book of Revelations, obviously by John the Divine, who wrote it because of Jesus. So there we go, right here, folks. And what a great show we had tonight, didn't we?
Yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed it.
Exactly.
I mean, too much information. It's too much for me even to, you know, digest it.
Exactly. You know, I mean, so it's a world of information we had, like tonight. Oof. You know, I mean, we hope you enjoyed the show tonight about the electronic banking conspiracies, you know, because that has to be known, folks. So please, please, when this video comes out, share it, comment on it. Please leave comments, share it, send it out. Do not worry. We want this information out there. That's why we do this, so our information gets out there to as many people as possible.
Yes.
And so without any further ado, we'll get back. We'll end the show, and hopefully we'll be back next week, God willingly. God bless you all. Have a good night, and thank you for joining the show. We love you all. Thank you.
Right. Thank you for watching, people. You're the best. Don't you forget that. And we'll be back next week, hopefully, unless if some UFO alien comes and sucks us out of this planet. Then there'll be no show, but we'll try and be back next week. Other than that, have a good night, people.
All right, good night.